Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Sam and I'm currently working on my own indie fantasy manga called Ye Olde Treehouse. Around January sometime of this year, I made a video titled something along the lines of my delusional art goals. And basically, I wanted to make a list of things I wanted to accomplish for my art and for my manga this year. And in this video, we're going to see how well I did towards that. Because April is ending, it is the quarter year mark. So we're going to look at what I said I wanted for 2025 and see how close I'm getting to that. Before we get into that, I want to highlight the fact that Ye Olde Treehouse is officially 1 year old. I published the first chapter on Global Comics back in April 22nd of last year, and we have officially crossed that year mark, and I'm just like, I'm just in shock. I can't believe how much I've done for this project in such a short amount of time, and I'm definitely ready to push forward even harder for this next year. But anyway, let's look at how close I'm getting to those delusional art goals. We'll start with the first thing that I said I wanted to accomplish in 2025, which is 25 chapters for the year. So as of right now, I have published 7 chapters for the year of 2025, starting in January up until this point. That puts me on track for this goal, believe it or not. There is a little story about why I haven't exactly hit the 8 that I should be at by now for 2 chapters a month. But the good news is I'm basically well on track to achieve my 25 chapters this year. You might be wondering, why is 25 chapters, why so specific? There's a certain point in the story in my manga that I want to get up to by the end of this year, because starting the not necessarily next year, but the following year, I plan on doing a pretty big marketing push for Ye Olde Treehouse. Right now, I'm not really doing that. I'm not really super focusing on socials or anything like that. I'm kind of just writing, drawing, getting the story out, and sort of like feeling it out there. Once I get to a point where I'm not like writing and drawing at the same time, I'm going to do a pretty sizable marketing push for Ye Olde. And the 25 chapter mark will put me at a good spot in the story where I could justifiably like take a decently long break and, you know, do that social media marketing thing that we all love to hate so much. So for this goal, I'm actually surprised that I'm on track. I have published 7 chapters so far. Check for this first thing. We're still on track. Next thing that I said I wanted to accomplish for this year is to have 3,000 subscribers on Ye Olde Treehouse's official channel. I am nowhere near that. I haven't even gotten any more than when I made that video in January. So let me explain myself. The Ye Olde Treehouse channel is where I intend to put all of the marketing stuff, where I intend to put all the fun things like animatics and the OST that we're working on, and all of the stuff for the series is going to go on that channel. I grew it to around 750 some odd subs, and then I just fell off a cliff with it. I haven't touched it since then because it's just too much to manage. One of the goals I have for this year is to build that out to 3,000 subs, to kind of keep that as a hub for fans of the series. But I haven't had a chance to work on it at all. Like, I'm failing so hard with this goal, but this channel that you're watching right now is at 4,000. We just crossed 4,000 subs recently. So thank you so much. And I feel like it kind of makes up for it a little bit. So am I on track with this one? Not in the slightest. Will I be on track with this one? To be quite honest with you, this is one of the goals that I feel like I'm going to utterly fail by the end of the year. And I'm okay with that. I don't really think it's a huge priority. And kind of like I said with the previous goal, trying to mix in creating the product and, doing all of this stuff on social media at the same time is very difficult. So I've kind of picked my battles. Like, I'm very active on Twitter and starting to be very active on Instagram and TikTok, but those are the battles I'm choosing. And this one with the Ye Olde YouTube, I'm losing that. So I'm gonna sort of park that one for now. The next thing that I said I wanted to do for this year is to make a website reader for the manga. This was something I had, as I think it was like my primary goal was to have a website where you can go and read Ye Olde Treehouse. And I was like so adamant about it. I didn't watch the video back, but I'm pretty sure I was like super adamant about it and whatnot. At the quarter mark, that goal was completed like the second week of January. Thank you, Global Comics, for motivating me. So I have the website done and up, and since chapter 10 or so, I've been uploading all of the chapters on the website for Ye Olde Treehouse, and it's just been amazing to have my own place where people can come and not only read the chapters, but kind of click through. And I've added a section for locations that will be updated and a section for characters, and kind of see a little bit more than just the story itself. I'm still uploading only to Global Comics. And I say this all the time, but really it's the best platform for hosting your webcomic or manga online. There's nothing even remotely close to Global Comics. The way that Global allows you to keep the true quality of the work that you work so hard on. It doesn't compress it. There's just so many customizing features. The community is excellent. Like, there's no reason to waste your time with any of those other platforms. So I'm still uploading on Global, of course, but I do have like a little hub for Ye Olde Treehouse if you just want to read it there, if you just want to see more about the characters or whatnot. So I have achieved that one. That one was done super soon and super early, so I'm really happy about that. So right now we're doing pretty good. I only failed one, but there's 3 that I did achieve. I think 3. Can I count? Let's check. 1. No. This would be 2 of 3. I can't count. Hence why I draw and I write, even though I was an engineer, but that's beside the point. Let's move on. The very last goal that I had for this year was to get some fan art. It was kind of like a little bonus thing that I wanted. And I am so grateful and happy to say that Ye Olde Treehouse has received 2 amazing pieces of fan art from some of my wonderful art mutuals over on Twitter. Leo and Arkin have drawn amazing pictures of Rue and Fig, and we just smashed the fan art goal thanks to their amazing artwork of my characters. I know a lot of people, may not understand the feeling when another artist draws your character. It almost adds, some legitimacy to what you're doing. It almost makes you feel like, wow, like look at how that character looks in someone else's art style. They can exist outside of just your own head. So I was so happy and honored and grateful to receive such amazing artwork from those 2. Also, check out their mangas, Firecatcher and Crimson Air. They're amazing. I highly recommend it. What now? And what are we going to do? Am I going to, since I've hit 3 out of the 4 at the quarter mark, those were my year goals. And I thought they were delusional, but now I'm just like, wow, I just kind of like breezed through all of that with the exception of the YouTube channel. So what am I going to do now? So the next step that I have is to continue on the trajectory for the 25 chapters. I'm currently very comfortably bi-weekly publishing Ye Olde manga chapters. Every 2 weeks, you can expect a new chapter with no, random breaks or sudden, oops, guys, I'm not publishing. None of that. I don't do that. I keep myself to what I say I'm going to do. I'm very serious about this and I work really hard. So when I say it's coming out, it's coming out. So I'm going to keep up with that. The next thing, this is a big one. This is kind of like the second quarter goal for me. The second quarter of 2025 goal is a complete artistic level up for my artwork in Ye Olde Treehouse. Now, there's nothing wrong with where my art is right now. I love it. I think it's cool. I've gotten a lot of great feedback on my artwork, but I'm ready to push myself even further with how I draw my characters, with how I draw their faces, their clothing, specifically and especially the backgrounds, because the next 3 chapters that I have planned for Ye Olde, those backgrounds are going to kick my ass. So I definitely need to, intentionally improve, not just like in passing say I want to get better. I want to really push myself to draw those things that are not comfortable to draw. Because I want volume 3 to be, when you see chapter 16, I want you to be like, whoa, is she still drawing that? Because that looks different in a good way, of course. So that's a very big goal that I have for the second quarter, is to really level up my art. And then aside from that, I'm not going to tack on too much more as far as goals are concerned. I'm doing really well with my publishing schedule, so I'm going to keep up with that and, not push myself too hard and add more on my plate. I would say the biggest thing is definitely just like improving that quality. So with that said, thank you so much for listening to me ramble and hearing my quarter review to myself about my 2025 goals. If you want to read Ye Olde Treehouse, you can read it at yeoldetreehouse.com or on Global Comics. If you prefer super high quality images, then definitely head to Global Comics. If you want to get a little bit more than just the story, then head to yeoldetreehouse.com. And I do have a Patreon, so if you'd like to, throw a little bit of support my way, because Ye Olde is going to be big and you should invest early. But if you want to throw a little bit of support my way, it's always greatly appreciated. I post all kinds of behind the scenes stuff, and you get early chapters for being a patron as well. So until next time, see you later. Bye.